And welcome to the first all-school assembly of the 2019-2020 school year. My name is Declan Buckley, and I am your all-school president. I would like to thank you. I would like to take this time to welcome all of Shipley's students, colleagues, and special guests as we celebrate Shipley and the installation of Mr. Michael G. Turner as our 10th head of school. These first few weeks of school have brought much excitement. The excitement of a new head of school, the excitement of new teachers, classes, friends, and sports seasons. And on a more personal level, the excitement when I was told that my opening speech for this all-school assembly only had to be a couple of minutes long. I'll get a lot more chances to talk to you all this year, so I'd just like to take this time to wish everybody the best of luck with whatever comes your way during these next 9 months. This morning, members of our community will come forward to welcome Mr. Turner and present gifts that correspond with our school's mission: educational excellence, love of learning, and compassionate participation in the world, as well as our motto, courage for the deed and grace for the doing. As we begin, please stand as Dr. Gibler and Mr. Casilla lead us all in the singing of our school song.
My name is Neil Regino. I'm class of 2003. I'm the current Alumni Council President for Shipley. I'm here representing our over 5,000 alumni across the world. So first of all, Shipley doesn't end here. It doesn't end at the end of your day, doesn't end at the end of your graduation. Everywhere you go, Shipley's with you when you graduate here. And I feel that every single day of my life. I talk to alumni all over the world. And it instills things inside of you that help you prepare for life. Our alumni are really excited to invite Michael into our community, and we're really excited to get to know him over the coming months and years, and as he travels across the country to meet us. So with that, I'm going to keep it nice and short. Michael, I'd like to present you with this certification, just saying, hey, we are excited to have you here.
Good morning. It is a special honor for me to be here with you today. I'm grateful for the invitation and delighted to join in the celebration of Michael Turner as Shipley's 10th head of school. My name is Ken Aldrich. I'm the head of school at Wilmington Friends School in Wilmington, Delaware. And some of you may remember that I was here about 2 years ago for the Pennsylvania Association of Independent Schools accreditation visit. During that visit, I had the pleasure of chairing the visiting committee, learning more about this special community, and I departed with a deep appreciation for this school, and I was most appreciative of the meaningful conversations I had with so many Shipley community members. However, I knew about Shipley and its community long before that visit. I've known Shipley since 1990. Early in my career, I worked at 2 other Quaker schools that many of you know, George School and Germantown Friends. At both schools, I was a JV tennis coach, which meant that I once coached against Shipley. As a point of history and reference, I knew Shipley before the parking garage and before so many of the new buildings and learning spaces on this campus. I feel fortunate to have these multiple perspectives of this school, as they have allowed me to witness the strength and growth of a peer school. This morning, I am here on behalf of the area independent schools, most notably an organization called Club 14, a group of heads of schools that meets for a monthly lunch during the school year. Club 14 has its roots in the 14 large K-12 independent schools of this region, and over the years, the group has expanded. Today, that group has 32 schools, and yet we still call ourselves Club 14. Perhaps this heads group needs a refresher in simple math. This collection of schools represents a broad range of institutions in school leadership. We are a mix of co-ed, pre-K through 12, high school only, boarding, day, single gender, religious and non-religious schools. We hail from Morristown, New Jersey, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Wilmington, Delaware, and naturally the greater Philadelphia area, Northwest Philly, Center City, Bucks County, and the Main Line. Our fellowship and conversations are essential components of the group's strength as we discuss the challenges and opportunities of independent school education. As an educator in Quaker schools for the past 29 years, it is not lost on me that Shipley was founded in 1894 by three Quaker sisters, committed to the education of women who took the courageous and bold step to establish this school. During the accreditation visit, I could sense the Quaker ethos that affirms this school's founding, and I believe what Shipley is today honors the original vision and legacy. When Michael and I talked late this summer about his transition to Shipley, we discussed his vision, his hopes, and most importantly, his genuine appreciation for what the school is today, the significance of Shipley's history, and his excitement for the school's future. So it did not surprise me when I read his opening of school letter to see that he spoke of the intersection of the past, present, and future. I noted, too, his emphasis on the current year as Shipley's most important, and then each successive year to become the next most important year for Shipley. Michael thinks deeply about community, most especially the stewardship of a community. Additionally, he is aware of Shipley's role in our most proximal independent school network, as well as the school's global connection to peer schools. After that phone call, it did not take me long to connect the theme of today, courage of the future, to one of my all-time favorite educators and champions of children, Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers and his television show represented a bold and courageous decision for educating children, where he was intentional and, in my opinion, magnificent. Fred Rogers showed us how to develop empathy, how to promote inquiry, how to champion equality, how to care for others, and most notably, how we can use our minds for imagination and innovation. For me, one of the most significant icons of his show is not a living character or a puppet, but it was the neighborhood trolley. The trolley is often glossed over and taken for granted in its role in the show. If you ask those who watch the show, they will recall how it was used during the episode as it took the viewer from the land of make-believe and to King Friday. The trolley provided safe passage to a world of wonder and imagination. Equally important, however, the trolley played a key role in the opening and closing of each show, for it was the trolley that showed us the beauty of all the neighborhoods and their residents associated with Mr. Rogers. We caught glimpses of different living spaces and the rich tapestry of the people who lived near Mr. Rogers. Through this subtle imagery, the viewer understood that the trolley was the conduit to many things. So, Michael, on behalf of Club 14 and other leaders of independent schools, I present a gift, which is a replica of Mr. Rogers' neighborhood trolley. He said he'll open it later. Just in closing, it is my hope that this will serve as a reminder to you and the Shipley community to have the courage to dream, to be innovative, and to push yourselves, as Mr. Rogers did through his show. After all, the neighborhood of make-believe often addressed real concerns about how to live in this world, and more than anything else, the trolley inspired viewers to imagine different possibilities and opportunities. And so I hope, too, that this trolley reminds all of you of both your intra-connectedness as a school community, but also the interconnectedness between Shipley and peer schools. My hope for this school community is that all of its stakeholders will partner with you, Michael, as you endeavor to steward and lead Shipley's neighborhood, especially as you launch the school on its next 125-year trajectory. Other independent schools, especially those in the Delaware Valley, hope and expect that Shipley, under your leadership, will continue to be a vibrant, innovative learning community, a school that will lead by example. We hope, too, that Shipley will continue to be a creative and supportive thought partner with other schools and for the greater independent school community. Again, congratulations, Michael, on the start of your journey here at Shipley, and on behalf of your colleagues at the area's independent schools, welcome home and welcome to the neighborhood.
Good morning. I'm Lower Merion Township Commissioner Tiffany O'Neill, and I'm joined this morning with my colleague, Commissioner Scott Zeloff. Together, we represent the areas of the township that include Shipley's 2 campuses. We're honored to be a part of today's ceremony. For the past 126 years, Shipley has prepared students for lives of transformative purpose. Shipley develops change makers, and Scott and I want you to know how proud we are that Shipley calls Lower Merion home. Michael, congratulations on the installation as Shipley's 10th head of school. You've come back after being away from the Philadelphia region for 14 years, so I also extend a warm and official welcome home. As you and your family settle in, I know that you'll be concentrating on continuing the traditions that Shipley holds dear: academic excellence, civic engagement, and creating positive contributions to our world. I also hope that you and your family will take some time to enjoy all that Lower Merion has to offer: open spaces, storied neighborhoods, and a diverse community. As you take the helm of this great institution, know that Shipley has been an exceptional jewel in our history and our present day. You employ members of our community, attract families from multiple municipalities, care for beautiful grounds, and are a trusted partner and resource. I look forward to working with you all as a part of Shipley's ongoing commitment to stewardship. Under your leadership, Michael, it is not an unrealistic point of view to assume that Shipley, and coincidentally the class of 2020, with all of its clarity and texture, will continue to be a part of Lower Merion's long-term vision, thriving through engaged civics and conscientious leadership. So again, welcome. We are so pleased to celebrate with you today and wish you and the entire Shipley family our very best. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Lower Merion Commissioner Scott Zeloff, and it is my honor to be here today as another representative of your local government. We've enjoyed a long and strong relationship, Shipley School and Lower Merion Township, and we're very confident that under Michael's leadership, that strong partnership is going to continue. From new development to saving historic Beechwood, to the commons, to the new squash courts, to the parking, to the tennis over parking, Shipley and Lower Merion Township have worked together closely. We know that continually improving the campus is vital to your future. In fact, we've suggested to other schools that parking, let me get it right, tennis over parking is a great way to develop your campus, but other schools haven't quite seen the vision that Shipley has. Shipley is a model in this community for how to be an institution, from communications with your neighbors to opening up your fields to the community, and to being a caring member of the community is how Shipley has always conducted itself. In this township, we have remarkable institutions in many of them. So almost 15% of the land in Lower Merion Township is institutional. From schools and colleges, to churches and synagogues, to hospitals, to retirement communities, to nature preserves, there are many institutions, and we want to support them. One of the ways we're doing that now is through creating institutional zoning. It's difficult, it's long, it's still underway, but we think we're going to get there. Michael has big shoes to fill, but having spent time with Michael briefly this summer, I'm confident that Shipley is in secure hands going forward. Like your new building, Michael and I found that we had more in common than we anticipated. So congratulations, Michael. Please allow Tiffany and I to present you with an official citation from Lower Merion Township. So this is very official. Whereas Michael G. Turner, is being installed as head of school of the Shipley School, the 10th individual to hold this position in the 125-year history of this institution. And whereas Michael Turner has distinguished himself as an academic leader and is uniquely qualified to lead the Shipley School, an outstanding institution which enhances the quality of life in Lower Merion Township. And whereas Michael Turner's impressive energy, experience, enthusiasm, and commitment to academic excellence will benefit not only Shipley, but Lower Merion Township as he guides this school into the future. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of Lower Merion find it fitting and proper to welcome Michael Turner to our community and look forward to continuing our partnership with Shipley and now with Michael Turner to enhance the quality of life enjoyed by the Shipley School community and the Lower Merion community. Congratulations, Michael. Our gift to you. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sarah McGrath, and I'm a senior.
I'm Isaac Kaiser, and I'm also a senior, and we're currently joined by Caleb Pryor from the 6th grade and Claire Jackson from the 3rd grade. Shipley has been committed to compassionate participation in the world since its founding by the Shipley sisters in 1984. We continue that tradition today. This weekend Super Saturday, benefiting our sister schools, Braintree and Andrew Jackson, is just one example.
We would like to present you with a book containing photos of our various service learning projects. But the book is only half full. We hope that you will add photos of your own as you experience Shipley's commitment to compassionate participation in the world.
Good morning. My name is Julia Bartosh, and I serve on the Colleague All-School Advisory Committee. On behalf of all colleagues, we would like to present 2 gifts to Michael. Kristen Jaffe, who joined Shipley in 1977 and is our longest-serving colleague, presents the Teach and Learning Handbook, which reflects our commitment to excellence as teachers. And Winter Douglas, our newest colleague who just joined Shipley this past Monday, presents a crystal apple as a symbol of our commitment to continual professional growth and personal well-being.
You didn't know you were getting into this.
Thank you, Michael.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Nyers, and I'm a co-chair of the Parent Ambassador Network. At this time, I'd like to invite Meredith and her children to come to the stage, please. On behalf of Shipley parents, past and present, we want to welcome Michael, Meredith, and their family to our community of Shipley. I hope that you will experience the joy of watching your children grow in partnership with the Shipley School. And thinking about your move from Richmond to Philadelphia, which I know is home for you, our winters are just a little bit different than the winters in Virginia. So with that in mind, I offer you a gift of some warm hats from Shipley, which I left under my chair.
Thank you. You don't have to wear them.
You want me to put it on?
No. That's up to you.
Thank you.
It's just the right size.
Really good.
I am Lexi Wojtewicz, and I am a senior. The upper school is celebrating academic excellence. We are grateful for the choices and challenge in our courses and offer you a copy of the U.S. course catalog. We look forward to welcoming you in our classrooms.
I'm Max Valor, and I'm also a senior. Our teachers are at the heart of academic excellence. Their work with us endures in college and beyond. In honor of this excellence, we offer a copy of the book Song of Achilles by Shipley alumna Madeline Miller.
Thank you.
Good morning. I am Sophie Shapiro, and I am in the 8th grade. We are celebrating love of learning. In middle school, our field trips bring out lessons to life. In honor of our field trips and to make sure you know how to get around, we offer a map of Philadelphia.
Hi, I'm Sammy Ilias in the 7th grade. In middle school, creativity is all, and we offer a playbill from last year's musical, Mary Poppins, and invite you to this year's musical in the spring.
Hi, my name is Lydia and I'm in the 6th grade. Last but not least, in middle school, we love our laptops and stickers and hope you will decorate your Shipley laptop, and here are some stickers to get you started.
Good morning. My name is Ben Feldman, and I am in the 4th grade, and I've been a student at Shipley since pre-K. This is Ronald Allen and Isabel Prizer. We would like to present 3 gifts that represent courage and grace. I think courage and grace is about putting yourself in situations where you might feel uncomfortable, but where you might really learn something new and meet new people. Our first gift are the reflections written by last year's 5th grade about their experience working with students diagnosed with autism at the Timothy School. The second gift is a photograph from Bagels and Bios when the 3rd graders last year, my grade, researched someone who changed the world and presented it in front of their parents and classmates. The final gift is a list of good deeds completed by the kindergartners last year as a part of their Knights and Castles study. Thank you.
I'm not quite short enough that I need the step. Mr. Turner returns to the Philadelphia region, where his roots are dug deep. Both he and his wife Meredith both graduated Germantown Academy, where they both also started their teaching careers. He holds a Bachelor of the Arts degree from the University of Pennsylvania, where he also won multiple senior honor awards, captained the football team, and was a 2-time All-Academic Ivy League recipient. He holds a master's in education from Arcadia University and is currently completing his doctorate at the College of William and Mary. Earlier in his career, he was served as assistant managing director for the city of Philadelphia during the Rendell administration. Most recently, he was head of school at St. Michael's Episcopal, a pre-K through 8th institution in Richmond, Virginia, where he also served as chair of the Virginia Diversity Network and the Virginia Association of Independent Schools. I first had the opportunity to meet Mr. Turner last May when he was here for a preparatory visit. I arrived at our meeting spot a few minutes before he did and caught a glimpse of my name on his schedule, wedged in between important board and administrative meetings. Having spent the morning meeting with people dressed in Hickey Freeman and Chanel suits, I wondered how he would take meeting with a kid in a Rick and Morty t-shirt and Target-bought cargo shorts. However, after the meeting, I was left thoroughly impressed with his will and desire to change this school for the better, and I am now fully convinced that he is the perfect choice for this job. it is now my pleasure to call upon Ms. Brooksley Wiley, Chair of Shipley's Board of Directors, to begin the official installation of Mr. Turner.
Thank you, Declan. That was a wonderful introduction for Mr. Turner. I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who has participated this morning to put such a beautiful event together to welcome Mr. Turner and his family, and also extend my own welcome to you. I also want to thank colleagues and students for the openness and excitement with which they have welcomed and worked with Mr. Turner over the past period of weeks. It occurs to me that students, and perhaps others, might be wondering what the Board of Trustees is and does, and why I am here as a part of the installation, leading the installation. The Board of Trustees is the group of people responsible for setting and safeguarding the mission and strategic vision of the school, and for ensuring the ongoing vitality of the school. One of our most important jobs is to hire, support, and guide the head of school, who is in turn responsible for delivering on the mission, which means basically doing everything else. So getting that appointment right matters. Most of you only met Mr. Turner in September. The board has, however, had the privilege of knowing Michael since he first visited Shipley over a year ago. Since that time, we have had a robust opportunity to get to know Mr. Turner, first through the search process, and then as he worked with trustees, Dr. Pilch, administrators, and some colleagues to transition into the role. We are confident in his appointment and could not be happier to officially install him as our 10th head of school. Michael, would you be willing to join me? For 126 years, the Shipley School has been committed to educational excellence and dedicated to developing in each student both a love of learning and a desire to, and the ability to engage in, a compassionate participation in the world. Shipley upholds and promotes moral integrity, a sense of personal achievement and worth, and concern for all others at school and in the larger community. We believe in our community commitment and strive daily to live our motto, courage for the deed, grace for the doing. Under your leadership, we trust that our mission will continue and Shipley will thrive. On behalf of the Shipley School, I hereby charge you to honor and uphold the mission, vision, and traditions of the Shipley School, to be a champion for the education, development, and well-being of our students, to support, guide, and empower all colleagues, the administration, faculty, and staff in their essential work of inspiring curiosity, achievement, and a commitment to a lifetime of learning through our academic and co-curricular programs, to celebrate and support our commitment to a diverse and inclusive community, to engage and connect with our student, parent, and alumni communities, also our local community and our peer schools, and to lead the Shipley School into the future with vision, compassion, courage, enthusiasm, and grace. At this point, I would like to ask our lower, middle, and upper school volunteers and representatives to come forward. So if you guys can get the mace and bring it over to Mr. Turner. Throughout academia, the ceremonial mace signifies that proceedings have official sanction. More broadly, a mace is an ancient symbol of authority and reminds us that schools are custodians both of the enduring traditions of learning and of the power learning bestows on those who come to learn. At Shipley, it is used primarily at graduation, where it represents the authority of the head of school to award diplomas. At all times, it sits outside the entrance to the school, or it sits at the entrance to the school just outside the head of school's office, where it is an inspiration for the pursuit of excellence at the Shipley School. Believing that you will faithfully and admirably administer the responsibilities with which you have been charged, it is my pleasure and great honor to officially install you as our 10th head of school. You take the mace.
Wow. Thank you. That was remarkable. Well, I stand here filled with gratitude. And I'm a little overwhelmed, to be perfectly honest. I was going to begin by having us all stand up and stretch, because the lower school especially have been sitting for a while. So thank you for the standing ovation. It gave everybody a chance to kind of stretch their limbs. But I'm filled with gratitude. I am so grateful to so many people. And I'm just going to walk, so bear with me for a moment while I won't be able to mention everybody by name. But I am going to take us through a brief walk through time, and beginning with today. Thank you to all of the people who made this possible. For those who've presented gifts, students and our guests, members of the community. To the dining staff, physical plant, and other colleagues who've worked so hard to make today possible. The technical crew, the people who lay the floors, thank you. I hope you'll all join us, by the way, at Super Saturday. It's going to be a lovely weekend. A special thanks also to the folks involved in the sustainability team to make this weekend emblematic of the school's commitment to being great stewards of our environment. Thank you for all of your hard work. Now, back over the past couple months, Ms. Wiley mentioned, it has been several months since I was named as the head of school. I'd like to thank especially my own family and friends for the hugs, the tears, the well wishes, welcoming us back to the area. It's so delightful to be back home in so many ways. So thank you to them. Thank you for all of those across the Shipley community, not just from today, but from the beginning. The members of this community, past and present, have reached out to me personally, to my members of my family, sent messages through friends, and none more than Steve Pilch and Sonny Greenberg. Their generosity in extending to us courtesies both small and big, from a big bag of Shipley swag that arrived on the first day I was appointed, to showing us through the home, to a basket of edible arrangements, which no one will be surprised was sent yesterday. It was delicious, by the way. And of course to the members of the Board of Trustees for their faith and commitment both to the school and their trust in me to lead this remarkable, remarkable place. And to the colleagues for putting on display your passions and skills over the past several months, none more in the last couple weeks when we finally had a chance to work together with students. And in the many, many years leading up to today, to the countless people for over 125 years who've worked so hard to make this place what it is today, particularly to Hannah, Elizabeth, and Catherine Shipley, for that daring vision and the courage that it took to begin a school to educate young women at a time that not many people thought that that's what women should be doing. And to the many, many, many people who've supported me and allowed me to be here today. Rarely does an accomplishment or a responsibility come alone. And there are too many to thank, some of whom who've moved on, some of us who are still with us today, and some of whom are in this room today. I am deeply appreciative and fully cognizant of the responsibility and the privilege that I have to stand here as Shipley's 10th head of school. I take both that privilege and that responsibility very seriously and am eternally grateful. So many people have wished me success, and so many people have made that possible. Thank you. And now to the future and the most important group, the students. Since this is a school assembly, I'm going to ask the adults in the room, our guests, and our colleagues to bear with me for a moment while I speak directly to students pretty much for the rest of this talk. I want to thank our middle and upper school students for getting dressed up today. I know that took a little extra time. You may have gotten halfway here, forgot that you needed a tie. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for the effort. Thank you for all of you coming up and introducing yourself. By the way, you look great. And I promise that I will not take the suggestion of several folks who this morning said, the students look great. Maybe we should dress like this all the time. We will not, I promise, we will not do that. You do look sharp, though. I'm just saying, you really look good. And to our lower school students, thank you for coming over from the lower campus. I know it was a little chilly this morning. I appreciate that. But without you, we are not all together as one community. So I appreciate you coming all this way. And I know that sitting on the gym floor is not as much fun as running on the gym floor. So I appreciate that. It's also not as much fun as going back to your classes and working with your teachers. I promise I'm the last speaker, so we're almost there. Thank you, of course, for all of you honoring me here today. I would like to share with you and all the students this one message, and speaking to the students now. This is all actually about you. All the people that you've just seen on stage, all the people that you've heard from, all the people that we've referenced, all those people I'm thinking about, they did all of those things for you. And if you're thinking, well, he doesn't mean me. No, I actually mean you. In the front row, all the way in the back, whether you're in the middle, upper, or lower school, whether this is your first 3 weeks at Shipley or whether you've been a lifer and you've been here for now 14 years, right? All of these people have done these things. They have all come here to honor you. And you specifically, that's a remarkable thing. That's what schools are. People come together for the benefit of children so they can learn and grow. Independent schools in particular, people don't have to be here. They come here by choice. And this school specifically honors the individual in a way that very few schools do. And so when I say this is all for you, I do actually mean you. That's what all this is for. That's what this is about. That's why we go to all this trouble. Now, you might be thinking, Mr. Turner, yeah, that's lovely and all, but this is kind of your installation. Isn't it kind of about you, people wishing you success? And here's the thing. My success, me doing a good job, is basically ensuring your success. Right? Like any teaching colleague, like any educator, right? That's why we do this. That's why we gather. Some of you may have seen this silly video that's going around of me. Did anybody see that video? Right, where I was asking, right? So there's this video of me going around and asking some of our more astute lower schoolers for advice and asking questions about Shipley and what a head of school does. One of the questions I asked was, what does a head of school do? Right? I ask my question that a lot, actually, sometimes, after a long day of work. But of course, the answer is effectively, it's another way of saying, what does a leader do? And my definition of what a leader does is that leaders help those around them succeed towards a common goal. I'm going to say that again. Leaders help those around them succeed toward a common goal. And there are many examples of this, but you already know this because you do this, all of you do this on a regular basis. Right? Board members are leaders because of the time, talent, and treasure that they devote to the school. Colleagues are leaders. They run classes, they educate children, they run committees. Parents are leaders. They might be the most important leaders in some ways, right? They get you here. They packed your lunch, right? They helped you get dressed this morning. They helped remind you needed a tie. And they sacrificed to make this education possible for you. And of course, students are leaders as captains, group leaders, and just as friends. It's my goal, it's my calling to be a great leader for you. It's my honor and my privilege in the service of Shipley and its mission. Now, and again, I'm talking to the students, here's the tricky part, so I need you to dial in on this one. To do that, to be a great leader for Shipley, I need you. I need you. Again, I'm not talking about someone else, I'm actually talking about you, so please listen up. Here's what I'm going to ask of you. I need you to get to know me, to make that effort. And I need your help for me to get to know you. Right? Our former head of school, Dr. Pilch, was a master at this. He had a gift, not just for names and faces, which was remarkable, but for the story and the skills and the gifts behind each individual. That is reflective of Shipley's culture and how much it values the individual. That kind of individualized attention to detail, and meeting the needs of students requires that we actually see and know each other as individuals. that we see and know our unique stories, identities, and backgrounds, that we see and know each other's unique gifts, talents, and dreams, and that we know each other at our best and when we struggle. At meetings and back-to-school nights recently, I've asked both students and adults to take a moment and think about a moment of pure joy and happiness. And I would ask students, think about a moment when you were really not just happy, but joyful. And then also think of a moment that was the opposite of that, that was really sad, really sad. It's both of those moments, right, together, and all the ones in between that make you you, that make you an individual. And it's not our wish for only the happy things, although that would be great, because we know the downturns will come. But when we see each other, when we genuinely know each other, in both of those moments, the highs and the lows, we are there for each other. We know and honor and celebrate each other as individuals. And when we do that, when we see and know each other in an authentic way, for our true selves, in all of our identity, in all of our gifts and struggles and strengths and challenges, then we grow. We grow as individuals in our capacity to connect. We grow in our relationship with other people. We grow as a community. Now, again, each and every one of you have done this. You already know how to do this from pre-kindergarten through 12th grade. When a person really lets you in, really lets you know who they are, right? When that happens, it feels good. Right? You're grateful to them. Right? When they make an opportunity to let you know them, right? That's meaningful. I know I feel gratitude for that when that happens to me. One moment of gratitude you might have right now is that this speech is almost over. This close. So again, I stand here with gratitude. To bring this home, I really should touch upon courage, because that's the theme of the day, courage for the future, and our theme for the weekend. So, courage for the future, this is the name of this little talk. It's the reason for it begins our motto. Gratitude, though, is where courage and grace begin. Gratitude is the soil in which courage and grace can grow. Because without gratitude, it's hard to be courageous. It's hard to be courageous and strive for something that you're not committed to, that you're not grateful for, that you don't hold in your heart. It's hard to have grace and not say that thing that you desperately want to say if you're not grateful for the position to be there. Gratitude is where grace and courage begin. It takes courage and grace to do the things I've asked. It takes courage to do them. It takes grace to do them well. It takes courage and grace to be a Shipley student. It is hard work to be a Shipley student. Right? For that matter, to be a parent or a colleague or a board member. It takes hard work, really hard work, to be here. The academic work is hard. The interpersonal work is hard. And it takes courage to do all of that. And it takes grace to do it well. It takes grace and courage to tell the truth. It takes grace and courage to be the kid who goes over to who's all alone on the playground, to walk into the student lounge and sit next to someone who's by themselves, or at least ask them, hey, do you mind if I sit here? Is it okay? That takes courage. That takes grace. It's a risk. It takes courage to let someone truly know you, not just your profile, you, in all of your complexity, in all of your flaws and gifts. But once again, there's good news. The good news is you are already at a place that knows this. The good news is that Shipley attracts and grows people who seek, possess, and practice courage and grace. A group of people who, by truly seeing and knowing each other, honor the individuality in themselves and each other, as well as a shared mission. That is a rare thing for which we can be grateful. And frankly, it's been true since a small group of women, Hannah, Elizabeth, and Catherine, had the courage and grace to share with their students the gift of learning. So, We'll close today with the song written by Ruth Moody and presented as a gift to me this past spring by three remarkable educators, all women, and performed by another group of young women, Hannah, Abby, Laura, and Karina.
This